I just want to start with this video by formally apologising for my hair. It's getting long. We're in quarantine in the UK. There's no way that I can get a haircut. Now, I consider myself to be a filmmaker. I really enjoy working on filming projects, but in terms of time and in the grand scheme of things, I spend a disproportionate amount of my time not actually filming anything. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm always thinking about filming. I spend a lot of time just drumming up scenarios in my head that I think would look cool. I think about lighting a lot. I spend a lot of time on Vimeo watching filmmakers that I like and taking inspiration from them. I spend a lot of time on Instagram looking at directors of photography that I really like, taking inspiration from them. I spend a lot of time on equipment websites looking at various pieces of gear that I think will improve my filming projects. But in terms of actual time behind the camera, really not that much. Now, there's a good reason for this. Filming projects are difficult to organize. There's a lot of moving parts in there. Obviously, you have to find a story. That in itself is really difficult. And then you actually have to go through the pre-production, you have to shoot it, you have to edit it, and then you have to eventually release it. I mean, it's a whole process and it takes a lot of work. And that means that when it comes to actually filming things, yeah, there's decent chunks of time between the shooting of the project. For anyone who's new to this channel, I move my hands a lot while I'm talking. It's part of the fun. Now, another thing that I often find myself doing is actually using gear as an excuse not to film things, which is ridiculous considering I'm literally surrounded by cameras. I have 5 cameras, 3 cinema cameras, a pocket cinema camera 4K, a Red, and an Ursa Mini Pro G2. And yeah, I still come up with reasons why I shouldn't film things because of gear. You know, the other day I was sat in the living room, I was thinking to myself, I should shoot more personal filming projects. I should just go out with no real plan and just film things. And then I thought, you know what would be the perfect camera for that? An original pocket cinema camera. So I go onto eBay, I start the process, I get right the way to the checkout, and then I basically have to slap myself in the face. You see, as I say, I'm surrounded by cinema cameras. If my quiver of cinema cameras that I currently have isn't getting me outside and filming personal filming projects, I can promise you this extra camera that I'm going to add to the mix isn't going to help the situation. What I have to do is I have to actually just grab the camera that best suits what I want to film and just go out and shoot. And I don't need a plan, okay? And I don't need anything special to do it. I just need to get out the house and actually go and film something. So that morning I was kind of invigorated. I woke up at 5 AM, went straight out with the pocket cinema camera 4K, and I shot the stillness because obviously it was very quiet. We're in quarantine, so it was extra quiet because nobody's outside the house. So it ended up looking quite cool. And most importantly, I learned something from it. You see, I often struggle with my filming projects on how to shoot things like inanimate objects and just landscapes or locations. So filming only locations and just making use of the composition and trying to use composition to make them look cool actually taught me quite a lot. Then a couple of days later, I went out on a dog walk with Vicky, decided to take the pocket cinema camera 4K, and I decided to shoot it in the style of like an old indie music video type thing, and I edited it in a style that I've never really edited in before. Once again, I learned something from it. A couple of days later, I go out once again really early in the morning. I take my BMX, I shoot a little video of me just riding my BMX around my local area. I realized as I was on my way home, I hadn't shot any coverage for this project. I hadn't shot any close-ups or anything like that, so I decided to shoot the close-ups in stills, as like a sequence of stills. I took 15 stills, or roughly 15 stills, of a bunch of things that I thought was interesting on my way home, and then I put those into the project at around about 4 frames per second, and I really liked the way that it looked. So the next time I went out filming with my BMW 2002, I decided to take that one step further, shoot close-up detail shots in stills using that same technique, but instead I would stack the stills next to one another and put them slightly out of sequence. They kind of scanned across the screen. I really liked the way that it looked. Another thing that happened on that BMW 2002 film is while I was editing it, I was going to leave the driving shots as just one continuous long take to round off the film. But I thought, you know what, I'll try dropping in some B-roll in there just to see how it works, and I accidentally left gaps between the B-roll clips. So it went B-roll, hands, B-roll, hands, B-roll, hands, and I was like, huh, that's interesting. That actually looks quite cool. It was almost like a non-linear element dropped into a very linear one take that just kept running in the background. I liked the way that it looked, and the interesting thing is that I then take that information and it kind of goes into the Rolodex of my brain. Things that I've experienced on filming projects before, things that I know work because I've done them, and I can take that forward into proper filming projects. So even though these filming projects that I've been doing, they haven't been meaningful in any way, they haven't been for anyone, and there hasn't been much planning involved in creating them, a lot of the stuff that I do in these filming projects is just because it looked cool. I can then use the information that I picked up from those filming projects and take them forward into actual filming projects, and it basically makes me a better filmmaker. In conclusion, I mean, it's the most obvious conclusion in the world. To be a better filmmaker, you have to just actually go out and film things. I mean, that shouldn't really be a news flash, but clearly it didn't come obviously to me. So who knows, it might not have come obviously to you guys either. Anyway, I hope that you enjoyed this video. Get out there, start filming, wake up early in the morning or go out late in the evening. Whatever you want to do to get out and shoot things, just do it. And even if you're on an iPhone, I mean, you can still film things on iPhones. There's some gorgeous stuff shot on iPhones. So yeah, no excuses. I'm calling you out. You can go and film something. You can do it.